Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about systems and processes and basically how the genius is all in the process. Now, if you've ever read the E-Myth, or if you've ever started a business, you know that it's all about the system. It's all about the science and the process. So, when you want to become a creative genius, the real truth of the matter is that it's all in the process. It's all in how you do the work, from start until finish, and how you're able to see the whole process improve and get better over time. But it goes even further than that when it's your own personal genius, your own personal creativity, because you'll start to realize, you'll be able to treat yourself like a prize-winning horse, right? If you put the right food in, the right time, with the right medicine, and you have the right jockeys, on your side, you're gonna win the race. You're gonna finish first because you're gonna take care of yourself. So the process that we're gonna first talk about is just talking about taking care of yourself and truly becoming even more of a genius. So say you have a specific field that you're truly dedicated on becoming the best in. You'll start to figure out how you learn the best, what your best learning process is. And then you'll start to figure out what's your best daily routine, what time do you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast? What do you drink? What time do you go to bed? When do you do your thinking? When do you do your best work? And that's the true power of creativity and being a creative genius and having the right process, though. And then if you want to have your own personal business, this is the very, very crucial, like I said in the E-Myth, you come up with a system that works. And it's like McDonald's. McDonald's isn't in the hamburger business, they're in the real estate business, and their process is that they buy real estate by selling hamburgers. And they do it by hiring, teenagers that can barely dress themselves, and then they pay them so little that they are able to make profits by selling, thousands of burgers. And that's their process, though. They go from start to finish, from buying the building to selling millions of hamburgers to making tons of money and buying the next building. So it's just something you really need to think about. You need to sit down, and I always do the stupid beginning, middle, and end. So in the beginning of your process, you'll have nothing. You'll have to acquire a customer. In the middle, you'll have to service your customer and keep them happy. And in the end, you get paid, or you deliver the product after getting paid. And the true end is, your CRM, keeping in contact, staying with them. But like I said, this just goes so much deeper when you really start to think about it. Because if you think of your life as a process, and if you think of your desired dreams and goals, and you start working on them, and you start delivering on a process that gets you closer and closer and closer to your truest dream, your truest ambition, your greatest achievement that you want to have in this life, and then you can achieve anything. But it's all in the process. It's all in the system. You of course need to do your due diligence and your research, about what works best. And you have to be able to ask yourself, what did I do today that was better than yesterday? What can I improve on tomorrow that would make my system be that much better? And then you actually have to take those small bits of advice and you have to put them into action. So many people get complacent with their system. They get stuck in habits that basically are their lowest standard, that just gives them enough money to potentially pay the bills and not live at all. And that's another thing. It's great to figure out a process to where it's not all about money, where you can enjoy your life. Create a process that you do that gives you enough time to truly live, to feel alive, to feel that power, to feel the rawness of life flowing through you in a non-stressful manner. Whatever it is that brings you to life. You can come up with a process that allows you to pay all your bills and have enough time to spend with your family, or have enough time to go ATVing, or whatever the hell it is that you really want to do out of life, But it's all in the process. And the only way I can really explain is first you do your research, right? Then you test, and then you build it over time. And I always, again, do the beginning, middle, and end, and then you can reverse engineer it. At the end, you'll have high-paying customers And in the beginning, you'll be, cold calling or knocking on doors or whatever it is you have to do. Or in the end, you'll have a healthy body, right? And a healthy mind. But in the beginning, you have to start eating better. You have to start exercising. You have to start reading more books on health, And then you figure out what works best for you. And then you just don't settle. That's the real thing, is you create a process that works, and then you don't settle for the bare minimum. You push and push and push. And I hope I'm delivering this in a way that really makes sense to you, because this will change your life. Because if you can figure out a way to create a process, then you can hire people to do the work for you, and you can just share in the rewards with others. And you can repeat and rinse and recycle and redo it over and over and over until you have enough money to do whatever you want, until your family is doing well enough to break on out. It just takes the sit-to-itiveness, where you sit down and you draw out your process. And then it takes the action to go through the steps to actually experience the process firsthand, to see it, Like, one thing I really like about Elon Musk is he's in there at the business every day. He's got 3 businesses, and he has a schedule where, he's here Monday, Tuesday, and then he flies to California to be at Tesla, and then he flies back, and then he spends a little bit of time with his family. And it's an insane system, but it's a system that's got him to where he is today. Now, that's not for everybody, but I'm just saying that if you have a system that works and you just crush it every day and you stick to it, you'll get used to it. Sometimes you have to wake up at 4 in the morning to truly start achieving all of your dreams. You don't have to, but maybe that's part of some people's process because they have so many ambitions. But you have to get in there and you have to test it and you have to map it out. Really use a good mind map or just a piece of paper, and then keep that piece of paper with you at all times. And whenever you are lost or distracted, you can whip it out and be like, okay, I'm gonna start on this part of my process to get where I want to be today. And it's just such a beautiful thing to finally have the science and systems idea, where you do the science and then you create the system, and then you profit, and then you live your best life. Because if you're just out there flopping like a fish, who knows what's going to happen to you. And so many people also have no goals, and they get exactly that, nothing. So set large, crazy goals, and then create beautiful science and processes that help you achieve them. If you want me to do more videos on this stuff about how I do a lot of my processes and how I create them, just comment in the bottom. But I hope you the best, and create a personal, profit process today. Take care.